Hey goalies, what's up? It's Chris over here at Goalie Monkey. We're going to check out the CCM Extreme Flex 5 pads, glove, and blocker today. First off, we're going to check out the CCM Extreme Flex 5 catch glove. The reason why I went with the white, orange, black was just because I missed being in Philadelphia. I grew up in Philadelphia, then lived in New Jersey, so I kind of want to pay tribute to the Philadelphia Flyers and them being my favorite team. The colorway is very similar to what Devin Levi and Carter Hart would kind of wear, so I kind of based my graphic off of that color choice. Across the backhand, I went with more orange than you normally would see. Kind of colored both zones in orange just because I didn't want to have any white nylon or anything showing on the backhand. This Extreme Flex 5 glove is a little bit different than your stock Extreme Flex 4 or even Extreme Flex 5. So this features the 590 break, which is similar to a 60-degree angle. You can see how it's a dead giveaway for a 590 by two clues. The first being that you have lace in the cuff up here and that you have the offset T option right here. So to close the glove here, you see the 60-degree angle when it comes from the bottom of the cuff up towards the top of the T. And again, the offset T, the reason why I did that was just because I feel like when I'm looking at the side of the glove, I want to see the most lacing possible to be able to see the puck inside the glove. So just the offset T allows that. So when I close it, I can see that side here. And to show you folks at home, when you close the glove, you can see how much lacing there is on the side of the glove. Some new features on the glove that I kind of chose as a special custom spec option. The first one is I did a Pro Palm without D3O in the palm of the glove. Since back to the Extreme Flex 3, CCM has added in the D3O protection, which really does help reduce stingers and just add in that overall protection. However, for me personally, I found that the D3O in the palm right here, if I wasn't catching the puck clean in the palm, I was noticing that the D3O was kind of forcing the puck back out, almost kind of like a trampoline or rubber band effect. So I just went without it. I still want to get as much protection as possible, so that's why I went with the Pro Palm versus the Game Ready. So that's one spec option that you can do on the custom Extreme Flex series. It's kind of overlooked from the old Axis line where it first came out, so this is something I really want to try to help push here today. A few other spec options that are a little bit different is specifically across the 600 model, but on the other models as well. You can actually start to get you get like a small reduced cuff right here, which kind of helps aid in the closure of the glove. CCM paid close attention to that so that when the glove does close, there's nothing really sticking out right here, protruding, that's going to cause that glove to not fully close. That was specifically done to the 600 model, but it was done to the other brakes a little bit here as well. So they've went with more of a detached cuff right here that has these elastic pieces. So what this does is just kind of allows for a lot of wrist mobility and kind of aids in that goalie that wants to really extend their hand out towards the puck. And the other change is going to be on the backhand here as well. Historically, they used to just have the HD foams across the backhand, across the fingertips, but they've kind of moved it up a little bit more across the backhand. And then they've also added elastic closures here. So this elastic allows the backhand to fully stretch while you're closing the glove, so it doesn't feel as stiff. So just kind of show you while you're closing it, you can see how the backhand stretches across the glove. I think the 590 glove is one of the most common gloves that, in the store or just in the regular goalie community that people gravitate towards. It's the most universal. It can help goalies if they want to hold their hands to the side, if they want to hold their hands with the fingers up position or protrude out. It's just a good middle ground for all goalies. And for me, I just kind of wanted to go back to something I was comfortable with, that I didn't have to really experiment with. I just wanted to pick up a glove off the shelf and really go ahead and use it. So that's why I opted the 590 and the offset T, just something I found that kind of works best for a lot of people here. So for me, I wanted to go a lot of white on the glove and blocker and even the leg pads. I just feel that adds a lot of a good pro look. I know I'm just playing men's league and beer league, but you kind of gotta feel like a pro. But you can populate nearly every single zone you see here. So you see UV printing in the top right here, UV printing down in this zone here as well. But every single one of these stripes is all a different zone. Even the little bit down here at the nose and even on the sidewall. So there's a lot of different graphic options and a lot of color options you can go with across the set. Something I've really liked across CCM blockers over the last few times I've ordered custom gear is the ability to order an offset high hand position. This is something I felt that I would like my hand higher up on the board so that I have more board showing below the fingers. I've always felt that with a puck coming from the ice up towards the net, you want to have more glove and blocker low towards the puck to help cut off that angle. So that's my favorite spec here on the EF5 blocker, is the ability to get the offset high hand position. And accompanied with that, with the higher hand position, I've also opted to go with a 2-piece open cuff here. The reason why I've done that is just because I like having a lot of wrist mobility and a lot of just movement, so I can really articulate my hand out to where I need to go. It is fully adjustable, so if you want to tighten up the wrist a little bit or you want to loosen up even more, you can do that. But it makes for a nice open wide setup here. Other specs I've done across the EF5 blocker is I went with an intermediate palm with a tight fit. So I do have slightly smaller hands, so I wanted to get a palm that fits snug across my fingertips. The tight option is the height at which the palm is sewn to the blocker board. So I went with a tight fit option, which means that my hand is the closest it can be to the blocker board, has a very tight fit. So for me, I didn't want to have any negative space in the palm. So as you can see, I kind of have to push my hand in here, but my hand fills out the blocker very snug. There's not a lot of negative space in here. That's something that I just prefer. Another spec option that I went with on the EF blocker is the straight index finger protection accompanied with D3O on the fingertip here. Reason why I did that, and you can literally see that I've made a few saves with it already, is I just like how this straight finger protection sits nicely against the stick. And just in case there's any errant pucks that like to ride up there, the D3O kind of helps protect your fingertip so it doesn't get jammed up. And as you can see, I already had a few of those try to sneak through there already, so I'm glad I had this set up. Historically, CCM and Reebok blockers have had very thick boards which really punch the puck out and really move it away to the corners. This year on the EF5, the blocker board is thinner, but despite it being thinner, they actually reinforced it with higher density foams, so it saves some weight, but you're not going to have those pucks die off in front of you or sit in front of you. They're still going to be able to escape to the boards and to the glass with ease. Much like the 590-degree closure in the glove for the blocker, this is a blocker that I feel like a lot of people just put their hand into, and it's just very easy to use. They gravitate towards it. Something that I feel that goalies really might not like about this is that if you're to go with such a tight fitting palm, you do lose a little bit of that airflow towards the hand. So my hands do get very sweaty when I play, and I've noticed that with the tight fit palm and the intermediate size palm, my hands really sweat. I do like the Sure Grip material, which kind of helps against that. This Sure Grip material is not the stock option. This is a custom option, but I've just really liked the Sure Grip palm over the few years. I like it a little bit more than the Nash palms that come stock on the glove and blocker. What I did for these leg pads was just every stock option, I read it, I understood it, and I kind of purposely didn't pick it. I really wanted to order a custom pad that was just so different from what you would see on the shelf, because I really want to take the opportunity to explain it. The first thing that you'll see that is different from the stock pad is you have a solid outer roll. This solid outer roll does have two internal breaks in the pad. You do get a good amount of flex in the pad below the knee and above the knee, but for me, I just want to have a little bit more of an S shape to the pad versus just your standard up through the knee and then straight across from the knee to the top of the thigh. You can pick the face foam on the pads. So these actually have their max rebound technology, which is what you would find on the Axis pad. So looking at the face of the pad, it is very firm, which means that rebounds would come off very hard to the corners. I myself, I don't like covering a lot of pucks. I don't like having them die in front of me, so I want to move pucks hard and away to the corners. So that's why I went with this stock option here. Looking at the knee roll of the pad, yes, you see the molded knee roll, which a lot of people have honestly not really liked so far, but just after using them one time, custom ordering these, seeing a lot of the stock options we have coming in, I don't notice it much anymore. I feel like I'm over it. It's not making or breaking it for me to purchase this set. I still really like the look. I like the aesthetics. It is a little bit more sunken in the middle, but it still is pretty firm. So you won't notice it like pucks are going to come off of it weird or bounce to odd spots. It functions just like a normal knee roll. Another different custom option that I did is I went with a weave on the inside edge of the pad. I know that CCM has their speed skin out, which is what you would see on the rest of the pad, I just have always liked weave on the inside sliding edge of my pads. I feel that it helps allow me to move around the crease the best. A few other cool little features when you order weave on this inside zone here is that you do get a few more hits of weave throughout the back of the pad. So you get the knee block here, the inside leg channel stripe, and also the inside boot of the pad as well features the weave material. So for me, just a cool little custom option that makes it look a little bit different than stock. So I went with a loose fit leg channel because I have a slightly larger calf. So I wanted to get the outer leg wrap moved over to the outside edge as much as possible. And I also went without a boot strap. I do not use any sort of boot strap to keep my foot tucked in the pad. I like that free range of mobility. Another option I went with was the HD foam toe bridge, which is what you would see on the older model Reebok and CCM pads. It is a little bit different than stock, where the stock one is about half the width right here. I went with the one that was a little bit longer so I can offset it to the inside edge here. And yes, I literally use this much toe slack in my pads. I find that the ability to kind of move my foot freely wherever I need to in the pad is phenomenal. I like this stock knee setup here is so that if you want to angle your knee strap down to the calf, you have the ability to do so, and that this piece right here is entirely removable and it can come off. So you can free up this entire area here if that is your strapping preference. Right now I'm going across the knee in these. And then I went with just the stock calf strap setup. I know I already talked about having the loose fit leg channel, but I liked having just the solid nylon strap across the middle of the calf here. And then there is an upper calf strap that sits right here, just kind of above the calf muscle to keep the pad snug to the leg. Historically, pads with knee rolls are associated to goalies who play the hybrid style position. However, in today's game, everyone plays a butterfly, everyone drops down. Pads with knee rolls do tend to be a little bit softer and kind of help pucks stay a little bit closer to the body. However, for myself, I just really liked having this solid E-Flex inside edge, so that's why I went with the Axis foam. So while these look like a softer style pad, they do have a harder face, which do kick out rebounds a little bit further. A goalie that would like wearing these, that would be the style of goaltender that just wants a tried and true pad. CCM, especially since the original E-Flex 1, they felt very similar on the leg year after year after year. And these are no different. When you put these on, they might feel just like your other E-Flex 3s, E-Flex 4s, any other pad that you've used before then, but they function so much better. They have a better tightness to the leg. The rebounds come off exactly how you'd expect. They have a great seal to them. Just overall, the best E-Flex pad that they've had out so far.